All right, Shalom, Shalom, Akim. All right, this is your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. All right, come with another lesson through the Spirit, and Lord willing, this be edifying to the Lord's elect. And before I get started with this lesson, all right, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wachaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith, and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth, to you Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations, but your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. Peace and blessings to you all, Barakatham. All right. So I wanted to do this lesson here. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing, it will be quick, but it's somewhat of a land back off of two lessons here. Being this one, all right, which is lesson being made by Elder Yashawamba. All right. His YouTube channel is Remnant Saved 144. Okay. And the name of the lesson is How Does Artificial Intelligence Tie into the Image of the Beast? All right. He's responding to someone who had made a comment on another elder's video. All right. Elder Manatazakba asking, all right, if artificial intelligence is the MOTB, you know what I'm saying, and how does it tie into everything, all right? And we're here to tell you that it ties into everything regarding this particular mark of the beast, you know what I'm saying, all right, which is the mark of the beast, I should say. Okay, so this is the first video. All right, that sparked this lesson. And the other video that I want to show you, all right, check this out. All right, the second video here is from the Elder Karatazar out of Vegas. The Elder out of Vegas, his lesson is, they have summoned a demon for life to be given to the image. All right, part 1. See what I'm saying? So I wanted to add to these videos here, you know what I'm saying, and land back off of it, all right, because Esau is he's on the path to reach his own pseudo enlightenment, if you will, all right, and he's using artificial intelligence and all the workings of the left-hand side to perform this, okay? So I got a couple of videos, one of which the elder right here is showing in his video. All right. I wanna pretty much use that video as well. All right, for edification purposes. Okay. But let me get this started in the book of Daniel, chapter 8 and verse 25. All right. Now keep in mind that this is speaking on Antiochus Epiphanes. Okay. And how he was the governor in Rome. Nevertheless, all right, these devils that we're dealing with today, all right, are not in Rome, Salakia, in Greece. Antiochus Epiphanes out of Greece. But nevertheless, the Edomites that we see today are pretty much moving in the same spirit. Okay, as the scriptures say, that which was then is now, all right, and that which is already been. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing new under the sun. Okay, so this is Daniel chapter 8, verse 25. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. All right, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken against he shall be broken without hand. Excuse me. All right. So pretty much how I want to tackle this. Like I said, they're working on trying to become enlightened. All right. What they really want at the core of all of this is Jacob's blessing. All right. They want the blessing back. Okay. They want the power. They want all the things that was given to, all right, the younger twin brother Jacob. Okay, that was given by Isaac. Okay. His blessing is an eternal blessing. And we, the children of Israel, are allotted in that inheritance. All right. But unto Esau was given a temporary blessing to rule the entire world. Okay. That's not a blessing that would remain, all right, that would remain intact for very long. All right. So, as a matter of fact, verse 24, Daniel 8:24, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. Okay, so all the things that we're seeing these devils performing, okay, it's not a power that's of his own. All right, it's a power that's given to him. It's a power that's allowed to him. All right, for him to possess when it goes into the sword, when it goes into the power to subjugate nations. All right, as the scriptures say in Job chapter 9 verse 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right, and these Edomites, all right, who call themselves white, okay, the self-proclaimed white people, you know what I'm saying? All right, according to Malachi chapter 1 and verse 4, they are the border of wickedness. You see what I'm saying? This is why everywhere they go, they take nations, they take lands, they take peoples, they overthrow governments. You see what I'm saying? They destabilize governments. Okay? They rape, they rob, they pillage, so on and so forth. All right? Because the earth is given into their hands. See what I'm saying? Now, what is this thing? What is it that they really want? All right? That comes with this blessing that Jacob has. Jacob has the blessing of eternal dominion. All right? Eternal dominion. And not just in earth, but also in the heavens when we come into our fullness. Well, through the use of AI, all right, through the use of artificial intelligence, these devils wish to supplant this birthright, all right, and to establish his own means of dominance, all right, that can be uncontested, uncontested. They wish to be omniscient. All right, I'm gonna look up these words. Right, they wish to be omniscient. Okay. All right, omniscient. Real quick.
Omniscient.
All right, omniscient. Having total knowledge, knowing everything. Having universal knowledge, knowing all things. All right, infinitely knowing or wise. Okay, and they're performing they're performing this thing through carnal means. Right? They wish to be, all right, they wish to be infinitely wise and knowing. Let me get this here in the book of Sirach. All right. Sirach chapter 19 and verse 22, it says, the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudent. Okay? But they wish to have this omniscience through their own carnal means by use of AI. They want to be omniscient. They want to be omnipotent. All right, omnipotent.
Omnipotent.
Okay, omnipotent, meaning having having unlimited or universal power, authority, or force, all powerful. Okay, able in every aspect or for every work, unlimited in ability, all powerful, almighty. Okay, they wish to be omnipotent, they wish to be omniscient, and they wish to be omnipresent. Right? Real quick.
Omnipresent.
All right, omnipresent. To be present everywhere simultaneously. To present in all places, to be present in all places at the same time. All right, ubiquitous. You see? In all three of these aspects, they wish to accomplish this by AI, by artificial intelligence. All right. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 14. Okay. And if you got the time, you know what I'm saying, you can watch these two videos here. You know what I'm saying? Watch Elder Karatazar's video and Elder Yashawamba's video. I just showed his channel. Okay. Elder Yashawamba's channel is GMS Vegas 144 Reloaded. All right. Subscribe and be edified to both of those elders. All right. But this is Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 11. It says, "Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy viols." All right. And the noise of thy viols. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? All right. Lucifer in the Hebrew, Hayalal, means light bearer. All right. These devils, they believe themselves to be the holders or the bearers of light. That's why they call themselves the illuminated ones or the Illuminati. Okay. Because they believe that they have this esoteric knowledge, all right, that can bring them forth into the light of you know of having this power. All right, the power of being omnipresent, the power of being omniscient, the power of being omnipotent. Okay. It says, "How art thou fallen from heaven?" Heaven means rulership. And right now these Edomites are in rulership. You see? Son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? And these Edomites, as I just explained, they go around all the world subjugating and oppressing all the people. All right? The world has a term for them. They're called the colonizers. You see? And didst weaken the nations. Verse 13, "For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit." Okay, meaning they're going to be falling from their rulership. They're going to be falling from their lofty position, and they're going to be in a position of subjugation. Okay. Verse 16, "They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble?" All right. People are going to look at you, Edomites, with disgust. They're going to look at you, Edomites, with disdain. You see? Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, and opened not the house of his prisoners? You see? Right now, these devils are being exposed on many levels. If it's not Epstein, it's these cloud seeding projects. All right, it's the weather modifications that just been exposed in Iran and Iraq and Kuwait, Saudi Arabia. You see what I'm saying? After destroying those radars. All right, so who was the one that was causing all this drought? Who's the one that was causing all these problems and this famine and this turmoil and all that? It's been Esau. Esau. Okay, these Edomites. You see? That which is then is now. There's nothing new under the sun. Right? I mentioned that before. Let me get that here. All right, Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Okay, so the same way y'all was tearing down all these nations, all right, and removing peace from the lands back then, back in the time of Alexander the Great, okay, to the time of his 4 generals who succeeded him, being Ptolemy, Cassander, Lysimachus, and Seleucus, okay, to Antiochus Epiphanes of the Seleucid Empire, to all these different empires that succeeded from Rome after Rome had fell, okay. And when you listen to Elder Yashawamba, okay, he breaks it down thoroughly, all right. And I highly advise you to go and watch that video. Watch his video, watch this video. Okay? Let me see. So let me get this video real quick to illustrate the point of how these Edomites think. Bear with me.
We are going to become gods. Period. If you don't like it, get off. You don't have to contribute. You don't have to participate. But if you're going to interfere with me becoming God, you're going to have big trouble. And we'll have warfare. The only way you can prevent me in this 50-year is to kill me. If you kill me, I'll kill you.
You see that? So this is how these Edomites think. Okay. And through their craft, they would cause peace to. Let me get that. Let me go back to that. I'm butchering that again. Let's go to Daniel chapter 8 again. All right. All right, Daniel chapter 8, verse 25 and verse 24. It says, "And his power shall be mighty, but not of his own power, and he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper in practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand." All right, to cause craft to prosper in his hands through his policy, man. And he shall magnify himself in his heart. And this is what's happening, man. All right, these jokers are magnified in their hearts. Let's go to 2 Thessalonians. All right, this 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3. "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." All right, and the son of perdition is the wicked. The wicked are the Edomites. You see? Verse 4, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Okay, that he wants to be the Almighty. He wants to be the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. All right, he wants to operate in that stead. He wants the birthright because he knows that the children of Israel, the children of Yahshua Allah, shall be as God. You see, he knows this. All right, let's hear that again.
We are going to become gods. Period. If you don't like it, get off. You don't have to contribute. You don't have to participate. But if you're going to interfere with me becoming God, you're going to have big trouble. And we'll have warfare. The only way you can prevent me in this 50 year is to kill me. And you kill me, I'll kill you.
All right. 2 Thessalonians 2:5. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things? And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, being the prophets, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, which is coming soon. The Lord, the Heavenly Father will send his Son, our Lord Yahweh Shai, very soon. And at his coming will signify the end of Esau's rulership and the end of all heathen rulership, all around the world, man. And the Israelites will reign the planet. All right. And peace will govern the planet once again. You see what I'm saying? So let me go to a couple articles, because how is he going to try and implement this, this omniscience, all right, this omnipresence and this omnipotence? How's he going to try and do this to act in the role of God? All right, check this out. All right, so I got some articles here that I want to share with you from endtimeheadlines.org. This first one reads, AI models now outperforming doctors at diagnosing patients in the ER. Okay, so now through their prosper, all right, Slakia, now through their policy, they're causing this prosper, they're causing this thing to prosper. You know what I'm saying? These, man, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank with with Daniel chapter 8. I keep trying to quote it, but I don't know why my brain just goes like mush. But anyway, yeah, we gotta get out of these bodies, man. We gotta get them new bodies. It's just crazy. But let's go to Revelation chapter 13. All right, Revelation chapter 13, and let's go to verse. All right, let's go to verse 12. It says, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. All right. You go and you listen to Elder Yashawamba's video. He breaks it all down clearly, concisely. All right. To understand the beast, to understand this mark, you have to understand the image of the beast. In order to understand the image of the beast, you have to understand the beast itself. All right. That's being mentioned here. Okay. Verse 13, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Okay, and he deceiveth them that dwell in the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast which had a wound by the sword and did live. All right. And that's going into the revival of Rome, revival of the Roman Empire. Okay. And they wish to solidify that through the means of this technology. All right. Which we was warned of long time ago. This is 1 Timothy. All right. 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science, falsely so called. Okay. This is what's known as pseudoscience. Pseudo meaning fake. Okay. Pseudo means fake. So this is pseudoscience. What is this? Artificial intelligence. Let's look up the word for artificial. Right? Artificial. Okay, artificial.
Artificial.
Meaning made by humans, especially in imitation of something natural. An imitation of something natural. Not arising from natural or necessary causes. Contrived or arbitrary. Okay? Affected or insincere. You see what I'm saying? This is artificial. And through this means, all right, this artificial means they wish to establish their own artificial birthright. Okay? So, this is one of those miracles that they're going to push on the public to get them to accept this new world of theirs. All right? Let's check another article real quick. All right? So the first article that I showed you, okay, where they'll be able to heal by use of this AI, this artificial intelligence, if they're able to heal people by the use of this thing, all right, as a miracle, that means what? That means that they're all powerful. All right? They were trying to become all powerful, omnipotent. All right? Omnipotent or omnipotent. This next article says top AI companies agree to work with Pentagon on secret data. Seven leading artificial intelligence companies have agreed to deploy their advanced technologies on the Pentagon's secret computer networks, marking a significant escalation of the Defense Department's push to integrate AI into military operations. The Pentagon announced the deals on Friday involving major players including Microsoft, Amazon, and Google. Officials described the partnerships as essential for maintaining U.S. dominance in a rapidly evolving technological landscape. Okay? It says agreements will enable the military to harness AI for analyzing vast amounts of data and sharpening real-time decision-making on the battlefield. A Pentagon spokesman declined to disclose financial details. All right? What do they wish to be? They wish to be omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. Okay? To know all things, to have all power, and to be always present. Okay? Always present, everywhere at once. Next up. All right? So, as I brought out, okay, this beast and the beast system is going to or the image of the beast system is something that relies heavily on everything that happens within the world around you, all right, under his control. Okay? The matrix, if you will. How do you, how do you pay for things? How do you travel? You know, how do you conduct business? All of these things, okay, your religious institutions, everything that is within uh everything that's within this the control of this beast, all right, being the revival of Rome. Okay? And so how will you be able to participate in this 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 matrix, so to speak? How will you be able to participate in this world that's coming? Okay? This new world order, if you will. Just like the man Richard Gere, all right, I think that's what the man's name was. All right, you just saw him in the video, that we are going to become gods. His name is Richard Gere, I think it is. But he said, you don't have to participate. You don't have to participate. Okay? But they're going to make it so unbearable for you to continue in life without a particular mark that goes with, all right, that goes with this image. Okay? That goes with this matrix. This matrix. In order to have the key to this new world, you're gonna have to be augmented. You're gonna have to become, all right, become a piece of this infrastructure. Okay? You're gonna have to be changed. The fifth industrial revolution. Okay? What is the fifth industrial revolution? Let me look that up. Let's see. Uh, all right. What is the fifth industrial revolution? Okay. The fifth industrial revolution is characterized by a deeper integration between humans and advanced technologies, particularly artificial intelligence and robotics, focusing on sustainability and human centric approaches in industry. It aims to enhance workplace processes while prioritizing societal values and environmental concerns beyond mere economic growth. Okay? So how you're going to be integrated into this system, this fifth industrial revolution, is you yourself are going to have to be changed under this devil's system. Okay? These Edomites are going to push this. Wells Fargo patent describes smart dust for biometric payment verification. Okay? It says, according to detailed LinkedIn post by Joe Patricelli Moodyman, Wells Fargo has secured an active U.S. patent, US 1135466B1, that envisions a futuristic layer of biometric security using microscopic sensors known as smart dust. All right? Let's go to Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. All right? All these false prophets can run and hide from this prophecy all they want to, man, but eventually they're going to have to face it. They're going to have to deal with this thing, man. This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is number of a man, and his number is 666. 666. All right. So let's go to the next article real quick. All right. The headline reads almost 50% of U.S. consumers would be willing to use their Palm Biometrics payments. Okay? Your Palm Biometric payments. So what is this going to lead to? It's going to lead to the prophecy, okay, that these false prophets do not want to tell you about. All right, it says, according to a report by Biometric Update, a new census-wide survey conducted for hardware indicates strong potential for Palm-based biometric payments to gain mainstream traction in the United States, particularly if data security concerns are addressed. All right. The poll of 2001 Americans highlights how frustration with traditional checkout methods is driving interest in faster, contact-free alternatives. Okay, so they're going to what's the word? They're going to trick these people into doing this. All right. As I say all the time, convenience will be the end of people. Right? Let's see. All right, this is Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. All right? This hour of temptation, everyone is going to be tempted to take this. Everyone is going to be tempted to participate. When there's no food, when there's no water, due to these supply shortages, due to rationing of food, due to the famine as a result of this closing of the strait. You see what I'm saying? All right? It's not going to take long. It won't take long, man. All right? These devils are they're gradually moving. You know what I'm saying? I think there was one brother who coined the phrase he coined the phrase accelerated gradualism. All right, accelerated gradualism. So let's look up gradualism real quick. Gradualism. Nigga's voice was low on that one. Let's turn this up.
Gradualism.
All right, gradualism. It says the belief in or the policy of advancing toward a goal by gradual, often slow stages. The view that evolution proceeds by imperceptibly small. Let me read that again. It says the view that evolution proceeds by imperceptibly small cumulative steps over long periods of time rather than an abrupt major change. Okay. All right, but as the brother coined it, this is accelerated gradualism because they can't afford, all right, they can't afford anymore to lead you by the hand, you know what I'm saying, to try and get you on board with all of this. You see what I'm saying? They can't afford to do that. Now they have to, you know, make these things more appealing to you a lot quicker. You know what I'm saying? Take for example all these e-bikes, you know what I'm saying? These electric scooters, these electric bikes and everything. All right, all the stuff that's becoming trendy is becoming the norm to use. Everybody's using them now. Everybody wants one. You see what I'm saying? Because it's becoming more convenient. All right? It's becoming more trendy. It's becoming more cool, if you will. You know, that's accelerated gradualism, because just a couple years back you didn't see any of these all over the place. Now all of a sudden you can't go down the street without seeing somebody riding one. Okay, accelerated gradualism, right? But everybody's gonna be pressured to take this the same way it was back in the year 2020, when everybody was pressured to take, all right, to take that thing. You know what I'm saying? That thing, right? Let me show you a quick video. Bear with me. All right. And this is fair use, fair use. Okay, under the Copyright Act of 1976, it's for educational purposes only. Let's continue.
This is that message to you, the unvaccinated. Even if I were pollinated and fully vaccinated, I would admire the unvaccinated for withstanding the greatest pressure I've ever seen. From partners, parents, children, friends, colleagues, and even doctors. People who are capable of such personality, courage, and critical ability are undoubtedly the best part of humanity. They are everywhere, in all ages, levels of education, states, and ideas. They are of a special kind. They are the soldiers that every army of light wants to have in its ranks. They are the parent that every child wants to have, and the children that every parent dreams of having. They are beings above the average of their societies. They are the essence of the people who have, built all cultures and conquered horizons. They are there, next to you. They look normal, but they are superheroes. They did what others could not. They were the tree that withstood the hurricane of insults, discrimination, and social exclusion. And they did it because they thought they were alone. And they believed that, they were the only ones. Banned from their families' tables at Christmas, they never saw anything so cruel. They lost their jobs, let their careers sink, had no more money, but they didn't care. They suffered immeasurable discrimination, denunciation, betrayal, and humiliation, but they kept on going. Never before in humanity has there been such a casting. Now, we all know who are the best on the planet Earth. Men, women, young, old, rich, poor, of all races or religions, the unvaccinated, the chosen of the invisible ark, the only ones who managed to resist when everything collapsed. That's you. You passed an unimaginable test that many of the toughest Marines, commandos, Green Berets, astronauts, and even geniuses could not withstand. You are made of the stuff of the greatest who ever lived. Those heroes born among ordinary men who glow in the dark. Remember, you're the voice. It's time to make it count.
All right. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to think about that, man. All right. Think about the amount of pressure, social pressure that those of you, all right, who resisted against that, all that pressure that you had to endure. You know what I'm saying? You were shut out of programs. You were shut out of different buildings, restaurants. You know what I'm saying? Gyms and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Because you knew better. All right? Because the prophets have been warning you. We warned you. Do not trust this devil. You see what I'm saying? And those who took heed to the words of the prophets, you're one of those who passed. And that was a simple quiz. That was a simple quiz. He said that people of high IQs, supposed, all right, scientists, doctors, lawyers, okay, servicemen of high rank, you know what I'm saying, Green Berets, Navy SEALs, all types of people, okay, they couldn't withstand that level of scrutiny. They couldn't withstand that level of ostracization. You know what I'm saying? Being ostracized like that. They couldn't deal with that. They couldn't deal with that. And that was just a quiz. What we're about to come into, all right, let's go to the point. Let's get to the point. All right. When we get to this point right here, that's when the test comes. Like I said, what we experienced back in 2020 was a mere quiz. That was a quiz. You see what I'm saying? But the greatest test of your life is coming. And as we just saw, nearly 50% of the American population is willing to use Palm Biometrics in order to buy and sell. You see? So if nearly 50% are already on board for that, how much easier will it be when there's no food, when there's no water, when there's nothing? No rations. All right, but there is a smart city over yonder that has all the food, that has all the electric bikes, the electric vehicles, everything where society continues to run and continues to operate. Okay? Full surveillance 24/7. But they say that there's no crime. There's no crime. Everything's perfect. Everything's utopic. You know what I'm saying? Everything is euphoric. And all you'll have to do is take this particular device that will go underneath your skin. How much more of a test will that be? Because back in 2020, all you had to do was just stay your ass home. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like you like you couldn't work out in your own home. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you had to go to the theaters. Hey man, stay home and read a book. You see? People were still able to function. Those of us who were wise and who didn't take that, you see what I'm saying? We still functioned. Okay? But how much more when there's no jobs, when there's no food, no water, like I said, and seemingly the only option that you have is to take this thing. Right? That's when the rubber hits the road and it's no more talk, because I remember that one soldier. All right, I remember that one soldier in the military, and he was talking about, I ain't never gonna take that jump. I ain't never gonna take that jab. I ain't gonna take that shit. And then when all they did was threaten to to dishonorably discharge him. Okay? He came right back on the TikTok and said, "Hey man, listen, I'm just gonna have to give in. I'm so sorry, but I ain't got it like that. I ain't got the strength like that, man." Because he was a coward. He was a coward. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be a lot of cowards, man. Like the scriptures say, when this thing hits, all right, everyone's gonna be turning against each other. All right. Think about how terrible it was during that COVID jump, man. Families was going against you for not taking it. How much more when this thing is pushed and is mandated? Matthew chapter 24 and verse 10, it says, "And then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another." That's the time we're coming into, man. So let me show you this one last video, all right, that the elder Karatazar had shown, all right, and then we'll close it out. Bear with me.
Portals from which we're genuinely summoning aliens, and Sam has added one. We're building portals from which we're genuinely summoning aliens, and Sam has added one in the Middle East. During the Biden administration, Sam Altman, the founder of OpenAI, explored getting a security clearance to join classified AI policy discussions. But staffers at a government contractor helping with the vetting had concerns about his foreign entanglements. One emailed that Altman had been raising, quote, hundreds of billions of dollars from foreign governments, and that, quote, the UAE recently gifted him a car. I assume it was a very nice car. The only person I can think of who ever went through the process with this magnitude of foreign financial ties is Jared Kushner, and the adjudicators recommended that he not be granted a clearance. Altman withdrew from the process. This is one of many new details in my investigation into Altman and OpenAI, which you can read in The New Yorker, link in bio. A senior Biden administration official told us Altman and his Middle Eastern alliances, quote, raised a lot of red flags for some of us, and that, quote, a lot of people in the administration did not trust him 100%. To build AI at the scale Altman wanted, he needed money that few entities on Earth possess, and the company considered extraordinary plans to achieve that. According to internal documents, the highest levels of the company once considered auctioning off access to advanced AI models to governments, deliberately playing world powers like China, Russia, and the US against each other. This was actually presented to an investor. One junior researcher remembered thinking, quote, this is completely fucking insane. OpenAI says this was just one of many ideas batted around, and it was dropped after some employees threatened to quit. Altman connected with Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. After that monarch's alleged role in the killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi came under scrutiny in 2018, Altman publicly distanced himself. But we spoke to a policy consultant who remembered that behind the scenes, Altman's question wasn't whether it was wrong to fundraise from bin Salman, but, quote, can I get away with it? He was also aggressively courting the United Arab Emirates, which made national security officials nervous. The UAE has reportedly leaked American technology to Beijing. It's also a repressive, authoritarian state. Some officials worried it could commandeer an American-owned data center and build disproportionately powerful AI. Now, the relationships that gave Biden administration officials pause are a boon under Trump. On Trump's second day in office, Altman and Trump announced Stargate, a $500 billion plan partially Emirati funded, to build a vast network of AI infrastructure across the US, which has since expanded to include a huge data center campus in the UAE. This kind of AI capacity is shaping the balance of power between nations and all of our security. One former OpenAI executive said, quote, we're building portals from which we're genuinely summoning aliens. The portals currently exist in the United States and China, and Sam has added one in the Middle East. It's just like wildly important to get how scary that should be. Read my full investigation for more.
All right. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 6 and verse 11. It says, put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. These devils are summoning the angels on the left-hand side, all right, in the hopes of solidifying their rule in this world and reestablishing that birthright. You see what I'm saying? Let's go to the book of Job real quick. In Job chapter 12 and verse 16, it says, with him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. You see what I'm saying? And these devils have been deceived into thinking that these angels, all right, will work for them and will lead them to the prosperity. All right? But they only do the bidding of the Heavenly Father who sent them. See? Remember, his power is not of his own. Okay? It comes from the Heavenly Father who allowed them to get this far so that he can take them down the same way he took down Pharaoh. All right, so I'm going to cut that there. I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. This has been your brother Zachariah Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. In closing, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Ruach double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and who teach well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.